Namaste, this is Banu Suresh, your online yoga teacher. Today we're going to touch upon forward folds. So every time you do a back bend, you want to do a forward fold. So if you're following these segments consecutively, one after the other, I would strongly recommend that you do the forward folds after practicing your back bends. Now there are always contraindications for all stretches in yoga. And for back bends, if we did not already mention that, for back bends you want to be sure that your back is not in any pain when you're practicing your back bends. If you already have a herniated disc, you actually want to do a forward fold to extend, to release any tension in your spine. If you have some issues happening with your back, you don't want to do back strengtheners at that point. You do back strengtheners or back bends when your back is in its normal state. Now, with that said, contraindications for forward folds: if you are pregnant or you have menstrual issues or you have some issues with high blood pressure, you really don't want to be attempting forward folds for too long, maybe one or two. And if you're pregnant, for sure, you don't want to do a very intense forward fold. We'll start with Pada Hasta, hands to feet, palm to palm. Feet are about 2 to 4 inches apart. Insides of the feet are parallel. Elbows are out. Inhale. First, you have to take your arms up to bring it down. Exhale, fold, hinge from the hip. And for this, I'm going to tilt the pelvis forward just a little bit. Tighten your buttock muscles. Exhale and fold. Keep your back nice and straight. Keep exhaling all the way down, hands to feet, and then bring your head down. Now suck it in. Your lower abdominal muscle needs to go in to go a little deeper towards your feet. And if you can't touch your feet today, that's fine. Bring your hands to your ankles, your shin, maybe not your knees, but in this particular one, it's okay. Don't press your knees backward. 3 breaths here. Inhale. And let's come up. Exhale and release. Ugra asana. Ugra is fierce. And I guess the stance looks like it's very fierce, but it also has another name, Prasarita Padottana, widespread legs. When it's literally translated, Prasarita means widespread. So I'm going to bring my legs out. Turn your palms out. I already feel very strong and fierce right here. Take your arms all the way up. Exhale. Hinge from the hips. So put your brakes on so you don't slip. Keep your back straight. Once you're past midpoint, pause right here at midpoint and then keep going down. Then bring your head down. Feel free to bring the top of your head to the ground, but if this is where you want to be today, that's fine. If you want to go further down, bring your heels out, bend your elbows, exhale and dip. Ugra or Prasarita Padottana, fierce or widespread legs. Inhale, pause at midpoint, heel toe your feet together, palms together, let's come up. Exhale and release. Uttana is a very relaxing posture, but nevertheless, it is still a forward fold. So it's a kind of a release, it's a kind of a rest time, if you will. So inhale, take your palms out. And I'm going to turn sideways so you can see how the back needs to come down straight. Exhale, fold. Forward folds are intended to calm the mind, to relax the body. Back bends are intended to keep the mind alert, to open up the chest and make you feel nice and happy. Whereas forward folds, no, they don't make you feel sad. You just feel more relaxed and more in the cooler zone. Inhale and let's come up. Adho Mukha Svana. You've heard this term. It's also got another name. We call it Parvatasana. Some schools call it Parvatasana. Adho Mukha Svana, downward facing dog. For this one, you could have transitioned directly from Uttanasana. I'm going to go back into Uttana or Pada Hasta, and then bring your hands forward, but 12 to 16 inches. Take both your legs back, one at a time. Inhale, lift the heels up. Exhale. Now try to keep your back as straight as possible, so your spine is still getting a relaxing moment, but you are not stressing yourself, you're not curving your spine. Every time you exhale, you want to try and bring your heels a little closer to the mat. Adho Mukha Svana. And at the end of the third breath, I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands. And then we come up. Shashanka or rabbit is a very relaxing seated forward fold, rabbit posture. So you're going to have to sit on your heels. So I'm going to uncurl my toes just so there's not too much pressure on my feet. And I'm going to make a little cushion with my heels. Knees are together. If that hurts, you can bring them out just a little bit. Inhale. Now this is very close. Now I'm a little bit too close to the wall. This is very similar to Balasana, the rest position in yoga, but I'll show you the difference when we go down. Palms out, inhale, exhale, fold, hinge from the hip, Shashanka or rabbit. In Balasana, when you are in rest position, your elbows would come down, or you could bring your hands by your side and your forehead tries to touch the ground or maybe place a block. But in Shashanka, your elbows are off the ground, which means your mind is still alert. You're just getting a nice forward fold, a beautiful compression for your lower abdominal region, head between the biceps. Inhale. Let's come up. Maha Mudra. Maha Mudra or grand gesture. So for this one, I'm going to stay where I am. I'm going to sit down actually on my heels, just like in Shashanka. But instead of arms forward, we're going to take the arms behind. So turn your palms out and then hold on to the opposite elbows. Just to get a better view, I'm going to turn around, turn back so you can see in profile. Let's sit down, exhale, hinge from the hip and fold. Remember, lead with the chest so you get a longer spine as you go down. Then bring your forehead down. If you want to make that connection with the earth, you can place a brick under your forehead. Right now, I'm trying to optimize my body's ability. Inhale, let's come up. And release. Manduka. Manduka is frog. So for this, I'm going to bring my hands not directly below the shoulders, but a little further forward, because I'm going to bring my elbows down. Knees are directly below the hip or a little back. Manduka like a frog. So we're going to slowly come down on our elbows, clasp your palms together, and in this forward fold, it's also kind of an inversion because your head is coming lower than the buttock. This forward fold, you want to keep your toes curled in, and it's more about the abdominal breath. So your belly needs, I'm going to hold my tunic up. So your belly needs to move in and out, like a frog. Now once you get the hang of this posture, this can be a very relaxing posture because you can make your own adjustments. And the last one for today, you're on your back, Pindasana. It's also called Mukha. Pinda means fetus, Mukha, wind releasing. Basically you release all the wind from your abdominal region by compressing it. So let's come down on our back. Inhale, lift your knees up. Exhale, dip your knees into your chest. So flex your feet. And this time, you can do a nice little gentle circulating massage for the sacrum, for the base of the spine. And it's not technically a forward fold, but the whole front of the body comes together. You might find there are many postures that would fall into the category of forward folds as far as possible, and some postures lend themselves to different categories also. I've tried not to repeat the postures in this sequence, but at the same time I want to make sure we get a full workout for whatever category we're working with. Namaste, we'll meet in the next segment.